Welcome back to episode 29. Today, we're going to talk about a subject that is really close to my heart. It's got to do with how you define yourself from a career, from a profession perspective. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to get a job. I've already done one episode in this series where I talked about how I got my first job in Canada. I'm going to open up another tab in that same topic. It's got to do with how you are perceived to prospective clients and potential companies that might want to hire you. So what do you put on your resume? And ultimately, how you can get work or how you can get a job by defining who you are. When you're trying to figure out, how to define yourself on your resume or in your profile, people typically tell you, put yourself in a box, pick a niche, pick one narrow focus area so that you can sell yourself. Before I actually dive deeper into the subject, if you're the kind of person who likes just doing one thing, there are people out there who just want to do just sound design. I just want to be a visual product digital designer. I just want to be a UX writer. If that's you, then this video is not for you. Shoo, move along. Just go watch another video. But if you're like me, who's curious about everything and everything, has this unending appetite of curiosity about everything, then this video is for you. Okay, let's begin by understanding a very simple concept of the T-shaped skill set. T-shaped skill set is where you go deep in a subject, but then you also go broad in that area. Fuck that skill set. You have to become a comb. If you bring a lot of T's together, you get a comb, because a comb's got a lot of teeth. Each tooth on a comb is a T-shaped skill set. So you could be a T or you could be a comb. So you want to be lots of T's. By becoming an expert and having depth in a lot of different areas, you can start to bridge that knowledge. I'm not talking about being a generalist. A generalist just has surface level knowledge about everything. I'll give you an example. So be really strong from your graphic design principles, from product design principles, and then understand strategy, understand business, learn about leadership and how to manage and guide the work, which is a completely different skill set. You could be amazing at your craft, but suck at guiding and teaching and mentoring people. That's another skill set that you have to acquire. By becoming a comb, which people naturally do over a period of time as they progress in their career, what you want to do is right out of the gate, start practicing all of them. Be okay with the chaos of trying to learn everything. So in this first episode, all we're trying to do is move away from one focus area in which you have deep understanding to becoming a comb where you have deep understanding in a lot of different areas. Another good example of this is designers who are also developers, who also understand business strategy. So by becoming a comb, you're going to be able to do things that nobody else is going to be able to do. You're going to be able to connect the dots more seamlessly because of your deep level understanding of how a lot of different parts work. Another way to look at the comb mindset is that you could either be the person who just paints the car, or the person who just works on the engine, or someone who just stitches the fabric to make the seats, or the person who designs the whole car and understands the intricacies of how everything works. Elon Musk is probably one of the best examples of a comb-shaped skill set, where he has deep level expertise in a lot of different areas. Here's where it gets a little bit nuanced. Now, one challenge that comes from being a comb versus a T-shaped skill set is that people who are T-shaped are easier to hire. Why? Because think of it from the side of the hiring manager. And if they can't figure out where to put you, they're not going to be able to hire you. Now, here's the funny thing and the irony of this whole video. When you're trying to find a job and you're trying to get hired, go in looking, talking, and behaving like a T, as if you're trying to pass a scarf through a ring. But once you get the job, become the comb. Let me explain. When you apply for a job, narrow your focus, become a T, and once you pass through that ring like a cashmere wool scarf, then open up again and become a comb, because you want to remove the decision-making fatigue from the hiring manager. If they can't figure out where to put you, they're not going to want to hire you. You want to make it easy for them to hire you. This is one mistake that I made because I am a comb and not a T. And typically earlier when I was applying for jobs, I would always go in as a comb and people would get confused. They're like, you could literally see people get confused and flabbergasted as to, okay, where does this person fit into the organization and what team would we put this person in? My mindset was built from running my own agency. So remember, when you are in the job application process, when you are interviewing, when you're writing out your resume, become a T, become very focused and make it easy for the hiring manager to put you in a box. So think of yourself as a cashmere wool scarf, which you can easily pass through a ring. That hiring process is like putting that scarf through a ring. Once you pass through, you can open up again and become a comb. Because as you get hired, you can start taking more and more responsibilities. In that way, you become an indisposable asset because there are so many things that are going to be linked to you that by removing you, they're not just removing one T, they're removing an entire comb. I feel that a lot of people just get stuck in a box and they're so limited in what they can do and how they see themselves. Fuck the T shape, become a comb. You can thank me by subscribing and liking this video. Okay, I'm done. I'll see you tomorrow.